So man, it's your big brother K-Rino. Wanted to speak on this story, man. A really, really cool story that came out of Minnesota a couple of days ago. There was a lady, a black lady named Dorcas Monari, and she was sitting in the middle of the street in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, the same area where Dante Wright was shot by police recently. And she was just sitting in the middle of the street. And the police showed up on the scene, and of course, they surrounded her, and I don't know what they were getting ready to do, but um, we know how these things can turn out when it deals with black people and police. There was another lady, a black lady named Phoenix Robles, and she pulled up on the scene and she recognized that the other lady who was sitting in the street was in distress. And it wasn't just a normal situation. So she approached the officers and asked the officers, could she talk to the lady? She said, "Can I talk to them?" She has degrees in social work and dealing with those types of situations, and she recognized, according to her words, that there was a mental health crisis taking place, and the officers allowed her to talk to the woman, and she asked the woman could she sit with her. And when she was asked why she was sitting out there, she said she was in protest of George Floyd. She was out there by herself. So the woman sat with her and comforted her, and eventually fixed the situation, basically. And it was just a good story to hear because, according to Miss Robles, who was the lady who came on the scene to help, she said when she got out that car, she felt like she was either going to be able to rectify this situation or she was going to die today. And we know as black people that that's a realistic thought when it comes to any kind of interactions with police officers. And now Minnesota has kind of become moved to the forefront in that line of thinking simply because of recent history. It was a great thing to see the bravery of that sister. She was braver than a lot of these dudes would have been in that situation. A lot of dudes would have just looked and kept on going. But it was wonderful to see that. But it also makes you wonder how many more situations that ended up getting out of hand and escalating to the point where black people have been killed by officers. How many more of those situations could have been avoided had um, individuals who were trained in mental health been on the scene? And the police do it one way. They do it the way they do it, and typically it's done with force. It's done with anger and rage and things like that. When they come on the scene, they already are wired up. And if you have police officers who have ulterior motives and already have predisposed notions about the people that they're going to interact with, then usually it turns out bad. But that's why there should always be mental health professionals and other areas of expertise, professionals that have other areas of expertise to deal with situations like that and interactions like that. Because again, the cops, they handle it one way, but the way they handle it is not always called for, and the way that they usually handle it is never called for. But I want to salute that sister. I want to salute her for standing in like that and being a real soldier. She's a local activist in the area, and she walked the walk when a lot of people pretty much just talk the talk. So blessings to her, and blessings to the sister who was able to make it home that day. And it's crazy that we gotta live where we live in a society where we have to even entertain that. We have to even think like that. But that's the reality of it right here in the United States of America. So shout out to that sister. I'll put the video in the description so y'all can see it. And it's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace.